Hi there, it's Becca with Let's Travel, and in this video I'm going to give you an overview of Marriott's Grand Ocean Vacation Club in Hilton Head, South Carolina. I'll give you a brief room tour of our 2-bedroom villa, walk through the amenities that are available and the activities that we did, show you the different pools and the pros and cons of each one, give you a grounds tour so you can see what's available on the grounds, and then lastly, walk through what ocean access looks like and what we thought of the beach. If you want to skip to a different part of the video that's most relevant to you, you can always use those chapters that I added below. We were in building 88, which is the Laughing Gull building, and you have the option to either park outdoors or under the garage. They do have these shopping carts available, which are really nice if you plan on getting groceries for the week. Our room number was 8811, so technically we were on the first floor, but none of the first floor units are actually ground level. So overall, a pretty good size unit. You walk in, there's a nice entryway, and then just to the right, there's the laundry room. So there are basic cleaning supplies, the iron and ironing board, and then laundry in the unit. You could ignore the towels. We were at the end of our stay when I took this video, so if there's anything like that around, that's why. But we really liked the mirror and this little shelf right here in the front area. We used it a ton. And then off to the left is one of the bedrooms and the bathroom. And as you walk through, there's the kitchen, the dining room, and the living room. And then at the end of the unit on the right is going to be the second bedroom. And then, of course, the balcony. The kitchen was a standard Marriott Vacation Club kitchen. Had everything we needed. It was in really nice condition. Really no complaints about the kitchen whatsoever. Here's the dining room. As you can see, we did need a high chair. We had our 18-month-old daughter with us, and they brought that to our room right away. Here's the living room and the balcony. And then on that right side is the second bedroom, which is technically probably considered the master. Here is that master bedroom. It does have doors going out to the balcony. As you can see, it has the barn door that separates the bedroom from the bathroom. Everything was nice and updated. As you walk through into the bathroom, there's the closet on the right-hand side, and then on the left, it's the big tub and then the updated shower. And then here's that second bedroom that's right to the left when you walk in. It had that pull-out couch that we didn't use, but it was available, and a queen-size bed. It did have a TV and a nice closet, not quite like a master closet, but still a pretty good size. And then behind the door, there was a mirror, which I always like having. And then this does have a bathroom that's off to the left as well. This technically has a second door to it out to that entryway, as you can see coming in from there. And I'm not gonna lie, this bathroom was a little tight. I get it, it's a second bathroom, so we didn't have a problem with that. But it was a little tight in there when both the doors were open. And here we have the balcony. It was a really good sized balcony. It has doors to both the living room and then the master bedroom. And yeah, it was a very good sized balcony, really no complaints about it. Some of the Marriott vacation clubs we've stayed at have had screened-in balconies. This one did not. We had a nice view. We could see the dolphin pool. We could also see the putt-putt green. Our daughter had a really fun time running around because both of those doors went out to the balcony, so she was just having a grand old time running in a circle between the living room, the bedroom, and then the balcony. Next up, we'll go over activities and amenities. In this main building where you check in, they do have Club Thrive. They have the indoor pool. And then they have the men's and women's locker rooms. Inside those locker rooms, there is a sauna. I know this is something my husband loves to do on vacation. So there are saunas in there that you can use. They also have that indoor pool in here. And the activity center is also in this main building. If you pause the video here, you can see the bike and beach rentals and the prices, and then also the daily activity schedule for the week that we were there. A lot of the activities do take place within the activity center. This is also a place that they'll move an activity if for some reason they can't do it outdoors like they had planned. There were a few activities that were geared towards adults that are 21 plus. There was a mimosa bar. I couldn't partake because I was pregnant, but my parents loved it. There was also a Hilton Head Island rum tasting, and my husband and dad said it was excellent. We played NFL trivia by the pool. There were not very many people there because it wasn't the nicest day, but it was really fun, and the activities team did a great job putting it on. We played Decades Music Bingo, which was super fun. This one was a hit. There were a lot of people there. It was very family friendly. They have a variety of prizes that cater to both children and adults, which was great. And then we also did Name That Tune, which was actually very difficult. I would not copy my answers because most of them were not right. They also had grab and go s'mores, and then our daughter's favorite activity was the rubber ducky races. This was a super fun event. There were a ton of kids there. Basically, they pick out a rubber ducky, you donate to the Children's Miracle Network, and then you put the ducky in the lazy river and they do a race.
We're going to give Jordan a big countdown from 3, 2, 1, win.
They have music going, they announce the winners. They do it a few times so that there can be more than just a few winners. Our daughter did come in first place on the first race, so my super competitive husband was very excited about that. Low Country Fresh Market, which is a local grocer, does put on a little farmer's market some mornings. They had some fresh produce, some baked goods, and then other things they sell at their market. We did buy a few things, and they were hot out of the oven. Building 84, which is the Seahorse building, has the bike shop, Namaste Spa, and then it also has the owner's lounge. The gym is also in this building. However, the elevator was out of order, so it was a little difficult to find the spa, the owner's lounge, and the fitness center. The owner's lounge was really nice and big. They did host a few events up there. It also had a really nice outdoor area that overlooked the ocean. So if you want to take some oceanfront deck pictures, this is the place to do it. Okay, so the first pool I want to chat about is the indoor pool. It was nice and heated, and we did take advantage of this pool a few times just because we were there in October and the weather didn't always cooperate for an outdoor pool day. It was in the main building, which means it's in the middle of the resort. It does have a whirlpool right outside the back of it, which was also very nice and very convenient. Overall, this was a nice centrally located pool. This next pool is the dolphin pool. This was the side of the resort that we had stayed on just because we knew this was the pool we'd be using the most since we do have an 18-month-old. So anyone with toddlers or little kids, this would be a great side of the resort to stay on. It is a little bit more bright and open, which we also enjoyed. The dolphin pool was one of the heated pools, and it had a lot of different water features, which was great. It did also have a little splash pad area that our daughter loved to play in, and it's also the pool that's connected to the lazy river. The Dolphin Grill is right next to this pool, but it wasn't open when we were there. And from other videos I've seen, I don't know if it's actually been open since 2020. And then here's the whirlpool that's adjacent to the dolphin pool. This next pool is the South Pool. This is the oceanfront pool. It's heated, and it's also right next to Loggerhead Landing, which is that other restaurant. They do have an adjacent whirlpool, and then there's also a little tot pool. So if you do have little kids that want to just go in a shallow little pool, they do have those as well. I was very confused because I thought it was a whirlpool at first, but it's not. It's for tots. Here's Loggerhead Landing, which is the bar and grill that was open during our stay. It's right next to that South Pool, and we ate there a few times. We also got some drinks from there. It does say open weather permitting, and that is correct. They definitely closed because of weather a couple times, which is a little disappointing for people staying on property that there's no food options, but we understood. The food was pretty standard. Some of it was good, some of it wasn't great, but they have good options for kids as well, which is always nice. They also have TVs, which are great for when sports were on. Okay, we got our drinks from Loggerhead Landing. Austin, what'd you get?
Passion fruit tropical IPA.
How is it?
Good.
Mom and Dad, what did you guys get?
Sunday fun day.
How is it?
Very refreshing.
Very good.
Good. And non-alcoholic pina colada for me. It's excellent.
And Palmer.
And Polymer. So the Dolphin Pool and the South Pool are obviously on the south side of the resort. And then as you walk north along the ocean front, you will eventually get to the North Pool. Now this is actually one of the pools that is not heated, so we didn't see anyone in there our entire stay. And then from the North Pool, you can walk along the lagoon, and this will eventually bring you to the Lap Pool and another whirlpool. Like I said, on this lagoon side, it is a little bit more tree covered and a little bit darker and quieter, which some people prefer. We don't prefer that. We'd rather be by the more active pool on the other side, but if you want a quieter and more natural scene, then this side of the resort would definitely be for you. The lagoon was great. There were a lot of fish, and our daughter had so much fun feeding them. You were able to buy some fish food from, I think it's the bike shop. Honestly, we didn't have to buy it because someone had extra and they just gave it to us. But she loved seeing all the fish eat the food. There are those signs about alligators, which I'm sure they have to do just in case. We didn't see any on the resort while we were there. I've already shown you quite a bit of the resort, but I'll show you a few additional things that you'll find on the resort grounds. They have some fresh herbs growing that are labeled, and you can just pick them when you need them, which was really nice. This was over by the putt-putt course and our building. There are grills and picnic tables throughout the resort. And then here's the bocce court and shuffleboard, which is in between the Dolphin Pool and the South Pool. There are a lot of really nice areas that surround the South Pool. They have these relaxing swings. They have this nice bonfire area with a lot of chairs. And this is next to Loggerhead Landing. And then they also have these outdoor lounge chairs that are oceanfront, and those are just between the South Pool and the ocean. When you walk between the South Pool and the North Pool, there's some hammocks along the oceanfront walk. And then to your left, in the center of the resort, you'll see that indoor pool, which is also connected to the activities center and the main building. There are two areas that you can access the ocean. One is by the South Pool, one is by the North Pool. both of them have feet washing stations where you can rinse your feet off or your body off when you come from the ocean. They have these nice long walkways that lead you directly down to the ocean, and then there's also a little carpeted area from the end of the path to the actual ocean front. The surrounding area had pretty thick vegetation, and I would caution against going into it. We saw a girl come out with a bunch of thistles on her clothing, and we did end up seeing a crab, which was super cool, but there was definitely quite a bit of wildlife that lived in there. So I would caution against straying too far from the path. The ocean itself is pretty much what you'd expect of the ocean. And the beach was actually really nice. It had really soft sand, and it was not super busy in our area. If you go a few minutes north, you are right by Caligny Beach, which definitely gets much busier. And here you'll see us walking back to the resort from the beach. You can see all of the resort buildings and just how close you are. Thank you so much for watching. We do travel to a lot of Marriott vacation clubs, so I will be posting more reviews as we go to more resorts, and of course more videos on our experience in Hilton Head.